Boom, ba 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 ba. Hey everybody, this is Brian Crecente, the executive editor at Polygon.com, and I'm here to talk to you about a really cool game I played over at PAX East during the weekend, or during PAX East over the weekend, either way. It's called Crush Your Enemies. It's made by a couple of folks, but the studio behind it was formed by two former developers or developers who formerly worked on a game called Enemy of Mine. They found the game to be slightly depressing, and so over the weekends and their time off, they started prototyping this game. And once Enemy was done, they decided to go off on their own and make this into a full-blown title. And I'm very happy they did because it's a lot of fun. So let me explain to you while you're watching this battle what's going on here. Essentially, what they wanted to do was create a real-time strategy game for those of us who don't have an hour or two to devote to a single battle. So they wanted to be able to create a game that has all the fun of strategy and action, but it can be accomplished in 5-minute bouts. So the result is this game where you play as these barbarians. And what you do is, as you can see, you sort of click on a mouse and move them around to attack the opposing force. The battles are done automatically. They compute the results automatically. There are a lot of factors that enter into whether you'll win or lose. You'll also notice that the grass in this scene is two colors. It is orange and green. To move, you have to own that land, and it'll be your color. So I'm orange in this scenario. And the knights, the less barbarian of the people, are green. And so I was capturing, you'll see in a second, I'm going to move over and capture this land. So I'm capturing this land. The more people you can have up to 50 units in an army, the faster you capture. And you could see my moving. Now they can't chase me because they have to capture land. So I got out of there in time. I'm now going around to sort of flank them. Now the land you'll see here, the thing I'm pointing on right now, up at the top is where peasants are made. So the more peasants you have, the faster they will reproduce. And as they reproduce, you can then send them off to do battle, which would probably be a terrible, terrible idea. Or you can send them to other buildings you may have. You can't build your own buildings. You can only capture what's on the map. So in this case, you'll see about midway down the map on the left side, there's a hut with a sword in front of it. That is a hut that will turn peasants into barbarians. And so once you move them there, they all turn into barbarians. You can't sort of pick or choose. So however many units you move in, is what the end result is, in terms of what they turn, how many of them turn into barbarians. Now I've beaten this level. This is early on. There's about 14 minutes of gameplay in this video, so I'm going to take my time explaining everything. So those are the basics. You've got a multitude of unit types. The ones I saw were the barbarians, the sort of the guys with the swords. And you also have archers, which I also tried. There are others like shield bearers and some other things. And of course, you have peasants who are the unarmed sort of base unit. So there's a little bit of story here. It's very tongue-in-cheek. There's a lot of humor. It's a little crass, but I enjoy it. And right now we're seeing the dialogue between Brog and his son, and the enemy unit, which is headed by Prissy Lafop. And so I moved over now to another battle. Now in this battle, you're going to see that there are two castles, one that has been built and one that is in a state of disrepair. You'll also notice that there is some grass here that is neither green nor orange. It's sort of a tan color. That is land that has not yet been captured. I don't think we see this in any of the matches I played during this video, but you will run into maps that have units that are on neither side. The only ones I saw were peasants, and all you have to do in those cases is bring in your own people to essentially negotiate with these unclaimed peasants, and they join your side. So that's obviously a tactical thing in a map, because you might have like 25 unclaimed units sitting in the middle of the map, and you want to race over there and grab them before the other team does. So what we're watching here is you'll see the fort up top was destroyed. I brought units over to build it, repair it. I'm just adding more now to do it faster. What this castle has is a massive weapon mounted to its roof. And like archers, it can attack adjacent squares. Unlike archers, it does a lot more damage. And it is, again, like archers, impacted by the number of units you have. So I now have both of those towers are claimed by me, and I have a... You can max out, as I said before, at 50, but I have a decent amount. I have 12 and 19, I think, here, holding those two forts. And while I'm doing that, I am waiting for my peasants to reproduce and build up my army. My plan here, I probably could have done this a little faster, but I liked total domination. You could see I'm adjusting right there. I was adjusting how many units I wanted to move over. So what I'm basically doing is trying to max out both these towers before I move forward. You could see over on the green side, Lafop's army, that there are two, actually, areas where they're building up peasants, and then one area where they're converting them to soldiers. I'm lucky in this case in that the map has natural walls built up, these mountains, that prevent them from, the enemies from sort of sneaking in between my units. One of the challenges in this particular map is that I basically only have peasants. I had a small number of non-peasants, but mostly I have peasants. Now, what just happened there was that I was able to. I think there are 3 challenges for every map, and I think in this case, one of the challenges was trying to hold. I think this is holding off these enemies until the timer runs out. So I did that, and now I'm trying for the second achievement, which is just a longer timer. The third achievement is taking out all the enemies. So as I mentioned earlier, I am working to sort of max out my units. I'm obviously not paying attention because my peasants have maxed out at 50. Now I've noticed that, and I'm going to move... I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to move half of them over to this base and get that close to max, and then do the same thing over here. It's basically, with this many units, it's going to be almost impossible for them to take me out. It's funny because I remember when I was playing this, the developer came over and you could tell he was like maybe getting slightly annoyed at how long it was taking me to beat this level, because I really wanted to slaughter them, and he was like, you can probably just distract the enemy with peasants in the lower quadrant and then sneak up around them and take out that top base. And I was like, I know, but I want to roll all over them. So I was waiting until I had 50 and 50 so I could just march in and completely dominate, which is getting close. I think I have 50 here, so I'm going to go ahead and in a second I'm going to start moving my people in. Once you get past 50, if you try to move units in, it'll just leave the spares in the adjacent unit. So I'm trying to sort of match exactly so I don't have people standing around being idle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is you'll see me capturing. I'm trying to be a little careful because I don't want, like what happened there, almost happened there, I don't want to get attacked by warriors, have my peasants attacked by warriors. I would definitely take them out with 50, and they're only attacking me with small groups of 10. But I'd rather, I don't know, not lose even a person. Now, you could see they can't attack me because they're trying to build up this land to recapture it so they can move across it. So I'm able to essentially to outmaneuver them. Whoa! And I got caught there, but it's okay because I have my I've got my tower right there protecting me. Once these two come through, I'm gonna go ahead and I just realized that I'm leaving that tower empty. I'm gonna go ahead and move my folks in. They're going to attack again, probably. Yeah, I'm going to let them take me out, or get taken out, sorry, by the tower. Obviously, the AI here is not very challenging because he's not amassing, he or she is not amassing the units. They're instead just bringing in 10 at a time, so it's really easy to pick them off. So now I'm attacking this base which converts units to warriors. What will happen is anybody who attacks me I have to take out. Once I take them out, I have to take out the actual base. Once I take out the actual base, I then have to rebuild it as my own. So it's a little timely. But once that happens, what you'll see happen is that all of my units on that place. So I just took it out. Now I'm building it up. Once I've built it up, all of my units standing there will turn instantly into warriors. There's no sort of conversion time. I'm sort of bulking up. Okay, so now you'll see I'm building, and now they've all become warriors. So now I'm really gonna rickroll them. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so you're gonna see me zip through here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. You can see how quickly I capture land. And I'm about to take these guys out. And then I will have beaten this relatively easy challenge. I point out in the story I wrote that this is a game that you do not use a keyboard for, which is cool. Oh, I wanted to point out something else that's really cool. I mentioned there are 3 achievements that you can get for every map you play. You'll notice in front of every map you've taken on, there's spikes with heads on them. The number of heads equal the number of achievements that you have accomplished. And later on, you'll start to notice that some of the maps you want to go into to do battle are actually unlocked with a number of heads. So you need 12 heads to do this map or 15 heads to do this map. It's kind of disgusting, but it's also kind of funny. All right, so I'm gonna move some of my villagers up here down to these archers. This is just showing you how archers work. Now, with archers, you do not want to get into hand-to-hand combat because they will get slaughtered. So you don't want to be. You got to be really careful. You want them to move on to the adjacent space instead of you moving on. I think I'm about to make that mistake. Watch. I move over. I move over. Now they could just run up on me and attack. That's exactly what they're doing. So I'm going to try to take them out. I catch them. So they moved into that space. And I'm fine. But what will happen, I think a little later in the map, you'll see me move into an adjacent space to one of those units, and what happens is they get to go into hand-to-hand combat, and they really do kind of take you out quickly. So now I just have to essentially move over here and capture this. This is a pretty easy map. You can see there are 3 challenges. I've already failed one of them. I didn't happen to note what it was. It may be something like, some of the challenges are crazy, so maybe it was like I had to win this map without using archers at all, or do it without losing any units. You can replay these maps to unlock the challenges or the achievements you didn't before. All right, I've got two sets of archers now. This is going to be the last map you're looking at before the video is over. So the game's coming to a multitude of PC platforms, also iOS and Android. It plays exactly the same on those. It's going to have cross-platform play, which is super neat. It also is going to have multiplayer, which I'm pretty excited about. The multiplayer will allow you to set up the maps, because keep in mind you don't choose units or anything like that. All you're choosing are the buildings on the map, which then dictate the units you have. So you could set up those things. You can also have challenges, like you can set up your own challenges in the multiplayer maps. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for it to come out. I believe it's this coming spring. As you can see, it looks pretty close to finished. Unfortunately, the audio didn't capture for this video capture I did, so you're missing out on all the screaming and the barbarians talking, which is fun stuff. So instead, you just had to listen to me drone on and on and on. Hopefully you didn't mind too much. Okay, so let's see how many heads I got. 1, 2. I didn't get the 3rd head. Real quickly, I'm going to point out also that there is these taverns, and you can unlock beer, which is used as currency. You can also battle in taverns to unlock a store to use that currency. Hope you enjoyed the video, and check this game out when it comes out. Talk to you later.